Got my eyes straight ahead, got my head in the game. With the red light on, I'm just waiting for the change. Keep my head down low. Hi, Jay Fallon, and thank you for listening. So this week in March, I'm recording this on the 7th of March, 2026. The week that's just gone by, we have had several shootings, police shooting civilians in two of our great states. Queensland, they shot two people. New South Wales shot two people as well. Three of these shootings all happened on one day, March the 3rd. So just quickly on the two Queensland ones first. So on March the 3rd, you've got the police shooting incident in Tingalpa involved a 21-year-old man who was shot by officers after threatening them with a knife during a welfare check. Very important, welfare check. So they've gone to check on his welfare, bang, ended up being shot. The man died at the scene. Senior constable sustained a minor graze to the ear. When they say a minor graze to the ear, as in he was shot, a minor graze by a bullet. It wasn't like a minor graze because he tripped and grazed his ear. So, they kind of leave a little bit of that out. Anyway, so he was he got grazed by the bullet from his partner. So the whole laser rule has gone way out the window. So the incident is under investigation by those two great departments in the Queensland government, Ethical Standards Command and the Crime and Corruption Commission. Great. Anyway, so you had another one on the March 4th, 2026. A separate incident involved a 31-year-old man shot by police after fleeing a car crash. This numpty seems like he was trying to get shot. It might have been a little bit of a, maybe, just putting it out there, maybe this was a bit of a plan of, suicide by cop, which is ridiculous because you got to feel sorry for these police officers because, they're just trying to, they think they're going to a car crash. Next minute, old mate's pulling the gun. Anyway, so the man was shot, but later taken to the hospital in stable condition. This incident is also under investigation by those two great and wonderful command units, Ethical Standards Command, with oversight from the Crime and Corruption Commission. So what could go wrong? It goes on to say that these incidents highlight the ongoing challenges and complexities faced by police. Yes. Okay, so on March the 3rd, let's look at these three shootings that all happened on the one day. So one of these happened in Queensland, March the 3rd, and then two in New South Wales. So you've got this man who was wielding a knife. He was fatally shot by Queensland police officers on the 3rd. So the latest report was saying that they were there. Queensland police responded to a welfare check. They were requested to go to a welfare check in Thurston Street in Tingalpa, 10:30 a.m. Officers at the scene were threatened by the man. That's what they're saying, threatened by the man. However, he was shot after making continued threats at police. Medical assistance was immediately rendered. However, the man died at the scene. Queensland Police Union President Shane Pryor told reporters the attending officers had attempted to subdue the man with a taser before opening fire. I don't think taser's not anyway. While trying to detain that person, that male person has lunged. Okay, they say it here. Has lunged at police with a knife. The entire incident has been caught on body-worn camera, and I am confident on the briefing I've received today that all police are justified, authorized by law in the actions that they took. Okay. I mean, one of them did, graze the other one with one of the bullets. But yeah, everything's kosher, Shane Pryor says. These officers were confronted with an extraordinary dangerous situation, and they should be very proud in the way that they responded. Our deepest sympathies go to the family of the male person that is deceased today, because someone was called around to his house to go and check on him because people were concerned for his welfare, and we shot him. Crikey. Obviously, Acting Chief Superintendent Heath McQueen similarly justified the officer's actions. So then you've got this incident two incidents in New South Wales. The first incident occurred at a unit block on Honeysuckle Drive in Newcastle about 8:30 a.m. Northern Operations Support Group and Northern Region Domestic Violence High Risk Offender Team attended the property to arrest a man wanted on 5 outstanding arrest warrants. When officers forced entry into the unit, 36-year-old man confronted them with a knife, 2 tasers were deployed, however, both were ineffective against the man. New South Wales Police said in a statement the man allegedly continued threatening officers with the knife before a police officer discharged a firearm, shooting the man. Got to make you okay. The 36-year-old man sustained a gunshot wound to his shoulder. Yeah, okay. So I'd love to see the footage on this. He's continuing threatening. The police officer discharged. Okay. The man was taken to John Hunter Hospital. Okay, so officers, then there was another shooting. Officers were called to a unit block on St. Neot Avenue following reports an armed man had entered the complex and assaulted 2 women with a knife. The man threatened attending police with the knife before an officer fatally shot him. The 2 women were hospitalized for head and facial injuries. All incidents are being investigated by their Ethical Standards Commission. Okay, look, I'm not, I wasn't there. I'm not going to say anything about whatever the actions these officers took in the heat of the moment. This is how it goes. You pull a knife, we all know this is what's going to happen. However, I firmly believe police, there's a reason why, especially Queensland police, there's a reason why we have more shootings, more police shooting civilians than ever before. And Queensland police shoot more civilians than the last couple of years. Every state, in some years, it's been every state combined. They have shot more people than every state combined. There's a reason why we have so many reports of, hey, can you go around and do a welfare check? And then the person ends up getting shot and killed. The person you're supposed to be checking on, because supposedly someone is concerned for their welfare, someone knows that they're not in the right state of mind. Can I suggest maybe sending people around who are not trained to deal with mental health, people who are suffering a mental health episode, who are not trained, who cannot handle pressure, cannot handle stressful situations, and then you go and arm them with guns, tasers, spray, all that jargon. Arm them with all these things, and then you send them around for a welfare check. The person who's already having a mental health episode then feels threatened, feels caged in, doesn't want to talk to them, has a knife out, is making threats to himself. I mean, they were called around, I believe, I'd read there that they were called around because he'd be making threats to harm himself. So instead, all that happens is someone else comes around and harms him and ends it all. Are we really doing this the right way? Are police doing this the right way? And why aren't they looking at other options? Why? There have been so many shootings over the last couple of years where police go around to do welfare checks and that person gets shot, person gets killed, and still nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. As I said before, if nothing changes, then nothing changes. If you continue to get called to people, to situations, to jobs where people are having a mental health breakdown, and you continue to just do the same thing, take the same action, just send police around to deal with the same situation, and then you continue to have police shooting people who are having a mental breakdown, you can't be surprised. You shouldn't be surprised. Things need to change. Something needs to change. Shane Pryor, you need to be pushing change, not just standing up there backing officers saying, no, everything's all right, everything's all good. Hey, forget about the fact that one of the officers shot the other officer, hit his ear. It's just a graze, whatever. Forget about all that. It might suggest that maybe someone wasn't handling a stressful situation properly, and maybe they shouldn't have been in that stressful situation. But anyway, things need to change. Our police services, our police forces around Australia need to change the way they do business. You can't just continue to go to these jobs where people are called because they're having a mental health issue. You call to these jobs and then, they had a knife. You have to change tactics. You, the police, have to change. Mental health, these people, they're not going to change. They're the ones in crisis. The ones that can change are the police forces, the police services in our nation. They're the ones that need to change their tactics. They cannot keep doing the same thing and expecting a different outcome. But will anything ever actually change? Well, we're sending around Ethical Standards Command and the Crime and Corruption Commission to investigate this, and we are sure that they will back police and nothing will have been found negligent on police's behalf. This is all just my opinion. Please let me know what you think. I believe they need to change tactics. They need to look at themselves and think, what can they do better? Especially Queensland Police. That's all my opinion. I'm Jay Fallon. Thanks for listening. They just fuel a desire that will take me higher. I'm on fire because nothing's gonna bring me down. Nothing's gonna bring me down. Nothing's gonna stop me now. No more demons to be done. No nothing's gonna just focus on the goal. Nothing's gonna stop me now. Nothing's gonna hold me down. Got my eye on the prize. Got my eye on the prize.